Okay, ladies and gentlemen, lately I have been watching videos by the Dr. David Wood comparing Paul and Muhammad, okay? And he keep on saying that out of the two, Muhammad was the false prophet, you know? Well, obviously I cannot blame him because David Wood is a Christian, you know. He have to defend Christianity. After all, Christianity is Paul's religion, you know. Okay, let me try to think. This is offhand. I never prepare anything, okay. Let's start by learning the life of Paul, okay. Paul, to begin with, was a slaughterer, a killer of those who follow the monotheism of, there were back then Christians who are monotheists, you know, and then Paul used to slaughter them, you know. So to begin with, Paul was a sinner, you know. According to the Quran, if you kill a life, just one person's life, is as though you have killed the whole of mankind. Can you imagine how many lives Paul had taken? So in this sense, who will be the false prophet? The false prophet material will be like someone like Paul, a sinner, you know, because if you are a sinner, your best friend will be the devil himself, you know. The devil will become your advocate, you know, because we believe in karma, you know. If you do good, good things will come to you. But if you do bad, bad things will come to you. So in this case, Paul started off as a killer, a sinner, a big sinner. Killing a life is big sin, you know. So bad deeds will come, bad companion. The devil will become your friend, you know, and the devil will advocate you to do more evil, you know. So how about Muhammad? Muhammad started off as a caravan business trader, helping the rich merchant Khadijah, who was then not yet his wife, you know. So Muhammad was known as an honest person, you know. Even when he was young, he was known as the Al-Amin, the truthful one, you know. Al-Amin, the truthful one. I mean, someone who speak the truth. Nobody known Muhammad as someone who was a liar, you know. Everybody knows Muhammad as a truthful one. So this will make up a good candidate for a good, true prophet, you know. So who do you think God will choose? God will choose the sinner, Paul, or Muhammad, the graceful one? Of course, God is holy. God will choose the holy one. That's why Habakkuk said, the holy one will come from Paran, you know. Paran is in Arabia, okay? So that's one. And what's next? Let's talk about the revelation. Who will speak the truth? Because according to Paul, on his way back to Damascus, on his way back from Arabia to Damascus, he saw the great bright light that blinded him. You know, only he saw, you know. Why the man never see the great bright light? Only Paul saw the great bright light and heard the voice. And then he went in trance, fell off from his horse, and then he was blinded. Maybe he pretend to be blind, you know, because ultimately maybe he has the agenda of killing more people doing the other route. So instead of directly killing, you know, brutally killing people, he go about killing another way using his epistles, you know, coming up with false doctrine, you know, such false doctrine such as a Trinity and taking Jesus as Lord, you know, to the glory of God. That means Jesus and God is the same level, you know. Okay, that is Paul. So this is Paul in this sense is a heretic and a blasphemer, you know. So how about Muhammad? You see, Muhammad taught about Tawhid, monotheism, absolute oneness of God, you know, just as Jesus said in Mark 12:29, the Lord our God is one. So Muhammad also said the same thing. The Lord our God is one. That means Allah is one, not as in two or in three, you know. So in this sense, who is following Jesus' teaching? Is it Paul or Muhammad? So who is in this sense was the false prophet? Of course, obviously it is Paul, you know. So yeah, so let's talk about how Paul became apostle. Nobody appointed him to be apostle, you know. He was self-appointed as apostle of Jesus Christ, you know. So instead of become a like prophet of God, he became apostle of Jesus Christ, you know. Isn't that something like fake, you know, false? How about Muhammad? Who declared Muhammad to be the prophet? Who do you think declared Muhammad to be the prophet? Okay, in order to testify the truth, you need at least 2 witnesses, as according to Jesus. Jesus said, in order to validate the truth, you need at least 2 witnesses. So who witnesses Muhammad as a prophet? Who were the one who said that, Muhammad, you are the prophet, you know? It was the wife Khadijah, who back then was according to sources, a Christian, and her uncle Waraka was also a Christian priest, you know. So these 2 Christians confessed, declared Muhammad as the prophet, because they know in their books, especially Waraka was a people of the book kind of a man. So Waraka knew these are the signs of the prophet, the last prophet to come. So nobody witnessed, nobody declared Paul to be the prophet. I take it prophet and apostle to be the same, okay? Just lump it up together. So then who witnessed Muhammad to be the prophet? It was Khadijah and Waraka, 2 witnesses. Okay, so in this sense, Muhammad was the true prophet and Paul was the false prophet. Okay, and then what else? Prophets should have miracles, just like Jesus. So what miracle did Paul have? Other than there was one incident that the boy fell from the 7th floor to the ground and Paul was there to grab the boy. Maybe the boy not yet dead, you know, maybe still alive. But then Paul said, oh, it's okay, the boy is alive. So people think, oh, Paul resurrected the boy, you know. Okay, now let me show you some of the miracles that Muhammad have. Muhammad, just like Jesus, feed the poor. Jesus fed 5,000 people. Muhammad also fed 1,000 people when they were digging the trench, before the war of the trench, And then Muhammad also, in one of the narration, 70 people was lining up outside his house in the early morning, and then these people, they wanted breakfast, So all Muhammad had was a jug of milk, just, one jug of milk, and it was enough to feed 70 people, and yet the milk never ran dry, These are the miracles, okay? So like Moses splitted the moon. Moses splitted the sea. Muhammad splitted the moon, okay? So this is the power of true prophet, whereas Paul was blinded, and as he was blinded, he couldn't heal himself. Someone else came to maybe heal himself on the pretext of healing. Maybe Paul was also lying that he was blind, okay? So again, Paul was the false prophet and Muhammad was the true prophet. And then David would like to attack Muhammad, like Muhammad married the adopted son wife, And then he quoted narration from Tirmizi. Tirmizi said, Muhammad was seduced by Zainab, And then, to make long story short, Muhammad in the end married Zainab. In the first place, how did Tirmizi knew about this incident? There was only Zainab and Muhammad. You mean what? Zainab went around telling people, oh, I seduced Muhammad and Muhammad fell in love to me. And then that's why Muhammad proposed to me, There are many stories about Zainab and Zaid, But one of the real authentic reason was because Zaid was a servant of Muhammad, adopted son. But because Zaid's status was as a servant and Zainab was from a noble family, So Zaid, feels self-defeatist, He has a low self-complex, So they both, in the end, both of them were not happy in their marriage. So in the end, after consultation with Muhammad tried to make them to remain in their marriage, but still, because of Zaid, really feel, Can you imagine a servant marry a noble woman? Of course, you don't feel you are like a real man, You feel very low, So Zaid decided to divorce Zainab. So in the end, the Prophet married Zainab because the Quran stated that you can marry your adopted son ex-wife, But you cannot marry your son ex-wife, okay? So that was the context and the reason why Muhammad married Zainab, okay? So how about Paul? Paul never got married. Paul celibated, Okay, then what else? How about the revelation sent down to Paul? Paul wrote his own gospel, Paul wrote his own gospel, but the Quran was sent down by Gabriel, Gabriel, on the first revelation, Gabriel grabbed Muhammad, because to contradict what Paul had experienced, nobody grabbed Paul and then he went into hysteria, So it's the same. Muhammad also went into hysteria, but this time it's real. Muhammad never see who was driving him, only heard the voice, but at least he was touched, unlike Paul, because Paul can make story about his revelation, But then when Muhammad went out of the cave, then the Gabriel saw his real personality outside of the cave, And then Prophet Muhammad saw Gabriel with his wings, Then it is Gabriel. At least Muhammad mentioned an angel name. How about Paul? Paul never mentioned any angel name. He said his gospel he learned from what spiritual, I don't know. Okay? But according to his gospel, Paul wrote a lot of gospel, his epistles, So in this sense, in terms of revelation, Prophet Muhammad seems to be more legit, Because the first revelation was like, recite in the name of your Lord, How would you think the jinn will come and recite in the name of your Lord? I think the jinn is also an atheist, at that time. Okay, what else? What else can you accuse Muhammad to be the false prophet? Okay, did Paul teach you anything about the end of the world or the life in hell in detail, or the life in heaven in detail? Did you ever come across this type of teachings from Paul, that Paul explained to you in details? Because if I can remember, in one of the, I think John 16:15 or John 16:12, where the Spirit of truth come, he will show you things in detail. That means Prophet Muhammad will come and explain in great details of what are the things to come, Prophet Muhammad, I give you a good example about the life in the hereafter or before the hereafter. Because when you die, after the angel of death snatch your soul, then the other two angels called Munkar and Nakir, the blue-eyed, dark-skinned angels, will come and ask you one question. This type of thing you will not learn in Christianity, because Paul never came to show you things to come, but Muhammad came to show us the things to come. So the very first question that the angels will ask, who is your Lord? Okay, Man Rabbuka. Then you must answer, Allahu Rabbi. That means the God is my Lord. That is the first question. And then the second question will be, who was your prophet? Of course, the prophet will be Muhammad, and then carry on, But the most important question will be asked, will be, who is your Lord? Because the Christian take Jesus as your Lord. That's why the angels will come to verify who is your Lord. If you answer, oh, my Lord is Jesus Christ, but of course you won't understand Arabic because it is understood that the angel will ask in Arabic, because all Muslims are required to learn Arabic so that you can answer in Arabic too. This is not because Allah only knows Arabic. You must look back at Zephaniah 3:9, that the Lord will turn to a language, a beautiful language, one language. So that means Allah will only entertain in one language. And then why we recite our prayer in Arabic is because we follow the Sunnah. Because the Sunnah, Prophet Muhammad say, you are to follow my Sunnah. So one of the Sunnah is, since Muhammad was Arabic, he recite his prayer in Arabic, so we all also recite the prayer in Arabic, you know, and it is required, it is our duty to learn Arabic, you know, so that you understand what you are murmuring, you know, because some people like even Nabil Qureshi said, oh, I don't understand what I reciting, you know, I just memorize the recitation, you know. Okay, and then how about in the hereafter, before the judgment? Then Prophet Muhammad told us in detail that after the second trumpet, the first trumpet, that means all die. It is the second blow of the trumpet that everyone will be raised up automatically, you know, from your dead. And then some of you will be what? Will be normal walking to the place of judgment day, you know. It is stated that the place is at Dimas, you know, the area Syria. Of course, by that time, Allah had flattened up all the earth, you know. And then some of you will be raised up blind, you know. And then some of you will walk using your head and walk, you know. And then you all will bleed throughout reaching there. And then some of you, the good deeds, the saints, will have mule to ride on, you know. Just like what Jesus said, you will be rewarded according to your works, according to your deeds, you know. But then what did Paul say? Paul said, no, you no need to work, you no need to do anything, just believe Jesus died for you. Isn't that sounds more like Satan was talking, you know? Satan doesn't want you to do work, you know. Because the only way to enter heaven is through your good deeds. And there are 7 levels of heaven. And then it depends on how much your deeds will determine that level of heaven that you will enter, you know. So you have less deed and but still your deeds are more than your sins, then you will enter level 1 of heaven, you know. The difference is that if you enter level 1 of heaven, you cannot visit the occupants of the level 2 of heaven, but the higher level of heaven's residents can visit the lower level of heaven, and those in heaven can visit hell, you know. So these are the things that Muhammad told in details, you know, something that Paul never did. So why did Jesus say the Spirit of Truth? The Spirit of Truth is Muhammad. As I told you, even when he was 8 years old, people already call him the truth, you know. And then the word spirit doesn't mean in the invisible spirit, you know. That's the problem with you people, you know. You mean spirit must be spirit, you know. The word spirit, like someone who is the truth. Okay, put it this way, simple way. The Spirit of Truth is like someone, the truthful one, will come and show you things in details, you know. So there is no way that you can say that Prophet Muhammad was a false prophet, you know. But Paul was, you know. In fact, Paul was even mentioned by Jesus in Matthew 16:6, because Paul was the son of the Pharisee. And then Jesus said, beware of the leaven of the Pharisee, meaning to say, beware of the son of the Pharisee, you know. That means Paul was the son of the Pharisee. And in Matthew 24:26, beware of the one who was in the wilderness. Wilderness is Arabia. Paul went to the Arabia for 3 years, hiding from the Roman for whatever reason, you know. Then after that, he went back to Damascus. Then on his way, then he met Jesus. Then what did Jesus say? Jesus also warned there will be false Christ, appear to you and deceive the elect. Then now you know. Jesus never came to Muhammad. He was Gabriel. But Jesus, false Jesus, came to Paul, which Jesus himself had already warned. There will be false Christ. That means Satan will masquerade himself as Jesus and call himself, I am Christ, see? So in this sense, no matter how you want to argue, Paul is still the false prophet and Muhammad was the true prophet. Okay, then I think that's about it. Just, this is offhand, I never prepare anything, Okay, thank you for watching.